I gotta be honest with y'all, for the past like 2 years of me sitting in the Gooner chair I'm in right now and oozing my voice to the ears of whoever wants to listen to me yap about video games, more times than not, I've chosen violence in the QuickTime event choice of topic. I'm a notorious hater for a lot of things in the gaming discussion space, the big red font and damn near on my thumbnail should, make that apparent. I'm a proud hater, but at the same time, I'm not the type to just completely hate out of turn or just say how I feel without explaining myself, because even if you aren't knee deep into the hobby of gaming and got like a museum full of Pokemon plushes claim you're a super fan, you could literally just read like a few headlines in the gaming space to know that there's some f***ed up things happening on the consumer and producing side of the hobby constantly. And I'd make the argument that we're only seeing more of this happening in modern times as more of the original, gaming and third-party corporations try to capitalize on the monetary success that comes with attractive video games and stray their titles away from what they originally were, which was just simple fun. And well, because of that, a huge new wave of players just sick and tired of the biggest video game dealers slinging them some whack shit are looking more towards the independent game developer scene, since more times than not, these startup and self-published companies act less egregious than the average AAA title publishers or developers. And a lot of people, including myself sometimes, have the unfortunate habit of putting these indie game studios on some sort of pedestal for thinking they're the modern day saints of gaming that we gotta look to save the day. But what if I told you that you couldn't even trust some of the biggest independent developers to not act like a bunch of dickbags? I know I said I'm a hater, but just let me cook for a second. So look, basically, the gaming industry got a real disruptus in the force last night when a well-known indie publisher, Humble Games, made a pretty shocking announcement via their social media regarding the future of their business. And if you need a Tekken 8 style story recap, basically this studio's been around since 2017, and since then they've been known for publishing some of the biggest developed indie games on the gaming market, like Coral Island, Stray Gods, my personal favorite Midnight Fight Express. Their catalog runs deep as hell, but even if you don't know their games, I'm sure you've probably heard the term Humble Bundle being passed around the community, which is their parent company's online storefront and gaming business that often gives a bunch of good ass deals to get a bundle of applications or video games. Seriously, do your pockets a favor and check this out. Anyways, within the underground gaming scene, Humble Games was, always mostly perceived as the golden company when it came to running an independent studio due to the success of their games and the sheer amount of trust that they've been able to build with the community of people that play their titles. But all that seemed to have come to an abrupt end when they yesterday announced that because of, quote, economic times, Humble Games has decided to lay off all 36 of their staff as a part of some required restructuring program to continue going forward. You're not schizophrenic, that's insane as it actually sounds. Apparently, their restructuring program includes canning off the staff that currently works there, but somehow planning to remain functional, which I can only conclude that they're trying to outsource the work that they currently have to other people, which is just beyond crazy. Now, of course, I'm putting words down your throat that you don't even see on the screen right now, since Humble didn't directly say this in their Twitter post that I just showed you, and only that they were making some sort of, restructuring. But we do have evidence of multiple ex-employees and insiders from Humble Games who made clear of what incarnation was happening, since Humble only wanted to give a sample of the real full story. Like, we got this guy Chris Radley, who was a previous art director at Humble Games and multiple other studios, claiming that this whole restructuring is just code for a full layoff of all of Humble Games staff, and that the company will soon shut down, and even going as far as to claim as the statement that Humble provided on Twitter was AI generated? So hold on. Not only did all these people possibly lose work and the ability to put food on the table for all their respective families, but there's also the speculation that their goodbye letters came from a text prompt generated in less than 5 minutes. Now that's disrespecting an entirely different new level. But not only do we have that, but we also got this guy Brandon Boswell, a former technical release manager, who claims in a heartfelt message that the entire staff was affected right now and that, like everyone else, he's just looking for some work where he can. Then you got insiders like Ryan Brown from the Lost in the Cult, who's confirming that the entire staff has been laid off and that some sort of third party was hired to manage their upcoming games. Like, it's just not only a bad look for Humble Games, but another indication of just how cutthroat the gaming industry can be at times, since damn near no position seems to be safe at any time. And as of the time that I'm recording this video, Humble hasn't said anything further about how they're going to continue operating as a company, if they even can do that. Like, it really just seems like they're prolonging their own death with no staff and claiming to have something cooking up, but man, I generally don't know anymore. Like, everything is just weird now. And I don't know if it's asking too much, but I just think that the least they could do was go into further detail on why exactly they can't afford their staff anymore and not leave the public and what seems like even their own staff in the dark as to why everything is happening the way it is. And I'm not even going to touch on the possible AI generated stuff because we're just not going to talk about that. Now, there are people speculating that this move is somehow on behalf of Humble Bundle's parent company, being IGN, since they bought out the company back in 2017, so I'm assuming it has control of their operations as well, but again, not much is known right now, so I'm not just going to jump to any conclusions or try to speculate the business side of anything. What I can say though is that this situation just sucks to see, and that I hope that everyone at Humble Games can transition to their next jobs as smooth as possible. So what do you guys think about the gaming industry as of right now, man? Feel free to leave a comment down below. As always, if you like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you on the next one.